In today's video, we'll be doing a side-by-side comparison of the new vintage collection Captain Rex with the Phase 2 Clone Wars Rex to see, what Hasbro improved and where Hasbro missed out. So we're going to start off here with the original. We're going to do the Phase 2 Clone Wars Rex. So the Phase 2 Clone Wars Rex came with, his classic pistols. Love these guys. Like the holsters. It's a great feature. I also really like the Phase 2 clones overall. However, he doesn't have any joints in the knees. He simply has a swivel hip, no ball joints. But his arm and shoulder articulation, is good. Another downside of this figure is there is no articulation in the wrists, which is crazy. How are they going to make a figure without wrist articulation with a clone trooper like Rex, especially? Alright guys, now the other weird thing is his head. His helmet doesn't come off, but his head looks too big to me. He's a little short, personally, I think, and his head is just a little bit too big. Now moving on to the vintage collection. Just a quick overview here. We have great arm articulation. We got wrists. Mine's really stiff, but it's there. You can see it. I'm not going to bend it because I do not want to break it. But it has the wrist articulation. Mine is just super stiff. Once again here, we have just swivel hips. I really wish they would have given this guy some ball jointed hips. And he does have knee articulation though, which is nice. And ankle. That is a figure, I just wish they'd give these really cool clones some ball jointed hips, guys. Come on, how are you gonna put a figure out nowadays without ball jointed hips, especially a main character? We have his head. He's got great paint, but his head is just too small. I mean, this one's too big, and this one's too small. I mean, they just can't get it right. I don't know. But we'll do a little side-by-side here, guys, of their guns. I like the vintage collection gun. It is bigger, but it's still that same Clone Wars style. Just a little bit bigger sculpt. I like that. I think it's going to make it easier to hold. It's going to make it less likely to lose. I think that's just a good decision overall by Hasbro. We'll pull these guys in here. You can see they both, on their arms, have their kill counts, which I really like. Their helmets here. Now, the Clone Wars version, has a little bit dirtier paint app. A little bit yellow-brown. Like he's been out fighting, where the vintage collection one is that nice white. As you can see, this Rex is a reused torso. Hence, right here is where a backpack would go on a different figure. Now this one's all pretty much brand new on the vintage collection, as you can tell there. Now, for a fun little comparison here, we have the vintage collection Rex. Now we have a vintage collection clone trooper. So you can kind of compare them and see what they look like. And then, since we got the Clone Wars Rex, let's do a Clone Wars clone trooper. So here's a little comparison of those guys for you. Overall, I really like both these figures. The Clone Wars version is my favorite. I think it takes the cake here. Even though it's got less articulation and a weird, oversized helmet head. I'm going to go with that because I think it fits in better with that Clone Wars style. With that Clone Wars, it's more forgiving of a little bit scale thing because it's a cartoon. Where the vintage collection, I'm really looking for those very realistic, best figures. And I think this Rex just isn't the best Rex they could have done. Like I said, the head is a little bit small in my personal opinion. And I really would love to have seen some ball-jointed hips on him. With the vintage collection, I expect more. With the Clone Wars line, I'm okay with some lower POA, points of articulation, if you don't know what that means. But with the vintage collection, I mean, come on, how are you going to do a vintage collection figure without ball-jointed hips, just swivel hips? I mean, what the heck, guys? Come on, Hasbro. We really appreciate you guys getting this figure in the vintage collection, but that's not even a hard upgrade. That's simple. That's an easy upgrade, guys. I bet some customizers out there are going to have a heyday on this guy, making him really nice and articulated. I really do like the vintage collection pistol. That is a plus side for the vintage collection Rex. And, I do like his paint apps. He's got great paint apps. Hasbro did a great job on him. But overall, I'm going to stick with the Clone Wars version over the Vintage Collection version. What's your guys' opinion? Please let me know in the comments, which one do you prefer? Do you have the Clone Wars Phase 2 Rex? Or are you going to be picking up the Vintage Collection Rex? Let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for your support. Have a great day, and may the Force be with you.